All right, hopefully everyone's having a great day. Tonight we go over 10 of the top reasons why people are still moving to Sacramento, the Sacramento area in 2024. My name is Mark McDonough, your host and Sacramento Realtor. My team's out here, guys. If you are thinking about making the move here, we'd love to talk to you, work with you, and all that kind of fun stuff. Here is the phone number. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the market as well, too, because it's an interesting market right now. It's funny. There are certain things we want to kind of go over a little bit tonight. We have the 10 things. We have a lot of kind of information, kind of news stuff that's developing. Last week, we broke the story about Toll Brothers that they're going to be building in Roseville. We got some other fun stuff. So hopefully you guys tune in, ask your questions, and we will see if we can answer the question. Why we're heading to the whole recession economy, but Sacramento is still on all those good lists that people always love. The idea of best place to live, place people are migrating to, and everything too. So like I said, we have 10 spots on there, but let's get started right now with some of the current news in our market, right? First of all, inventory levels are going up higher. And like I said, don't get too much of a smile on your faces right now thinking that it's so much of a new inventory thing. We're seeing a lot of retreads. We're seeing a lot of reductions. And we're seeing just kind of stuff piling up a little bit. Yes, interest rates are going down. People are putting their applications in with their local lenders. And if you don't have a great lender, you should definitely get yourself a fantastic broker. I don't recommend banks. And I think mortgage brokers are the way to go. Aaron's a fantastic one. He goes on our show on Monday. We got a couple other ones as well too. So if you guys are looking for a lender that is top notch, I also like local lenders. A lot of people love the whole Loan Depot and all this kind of stuff too. But in Sacramento, if you're not familiar with this area and you're maybe moving in here, everybody kind of knows each other. I know it sounds kind of weird. There's a lot of realtors, a lot of mortgage brokers around here too. It's a little bit easier to get your deal or your offer accepted if you know the officer or if you know the agent on the deal, because they have track records. Everyone has that kind of like vibe from people. And so if you're thinking about making a move here and you're thinking to yourself, I really am thinking about getting a mortgage broker, where should I go? I would suggest always going local. It makes a lot more sense. Normally when we submit offers, the broker calls in right off the bat. A lot of people do this too. Mortgage broker calls up and goes, clients are fantastic. The offer is strong. Here's all that kind of good stuff. And it really, really helps. Okay. So inventory, like I said, is going up. But like I said, if you look at it, it's going to be retreads. It's going to be things that were on hold. Things are coming back, some new photos, new descriptions and everything too. Interest rates, yeah, like we mentioned, are going down, but it's still not enough to get people off their butts. It can change. On a dime, it can change, and we've seen it happen before. So, as of right now, not a whole lot. Could it change maybe when we go to the low sixes or in the fives? Possibly. There is going to be that number that comes around that basically is going to trigger the market. And everyone's always saying, oh my God, there's going to be a crash and prices are going to drop. And well, if interest rates continue to go down, the truth of the matter is that there's been a lot of people that are either priced out of the market or haven't been able to afford what they wanted to buy because rates are too high. So now that rates are going down, there's an opportunity for them to actually jump back into the market. And like I said, they're not moving at a fast pace right now. Election, recession, end of year, seasonality, but they are definitely thinking about it. They're putting their application in. And like I said, every lender I'm talking to is telling me the same exact thing. We're getting a lot of applications. A lot of people aren't really submitting offers just yet. I mean, we are seeing it getting a little bit better, but there's not that rush that we would expect of rates coming down. Buyers are very savvy. Numbers move markets. And as we've seen, people are expecting rates to go down in the twos. I don't think it'll happen in my lifetime, but a lot of people are waiting for rates to even get lower and lower and lower. Could you see this? Black swan event? Maybe, but at the same time, I said I wouldn't count on it. How I like to always tell people this is if you are looking to move, as hard as it is to just not be like so geared by like what you see on YouTube videos or anything too, kind of look at your life, don't time the market, figure out, what that payment looks like. Don't anticipate what it's going to be like in a month or if rates are going to drop or go up or whatever. Just think about like right now, maybe I got a new baby, maybe I got to make the move, maybe I got a job movement over to Sacramento and I have to get a house. What does this mortgage payment look like? What can it get me? Is that what I want? Am I going to buy a stepping stone home or am I going to get my forever home? So I would say for you guys out there who are thinking to make the move, don't anticipate what it's going to be like in a month. 2 months, 6 months, a year. Nobody knows that. And if anyone saw all the videos that were thrown out like a year ago, 6 months ago, everybody was wrong. There wasn't one person that was right. And it's funny because you look at some of these like really big time people like Barry Habib, he was wrong and he's like never wrong. So I'd say just, time your life. Don't time the market. Don't get so wound up. But yeah, it's interesting right now. It's slow too. Now, a weird thing actually has been happening that I've been noticing. I've been talking to my team about it. Normally on social media, us realtors, we kind of follow each other on social media on Instagram. I'm not seeing as many realtors throw up the idea that they're showing homes, they're putting stuff in contract, there are more new listings popping up. I'm not seeing a lot of social media posts like I was seeing maybe about before the whole buyer broker thing came out. So what I'm guessing or what I'm hearing is a lot of people are getting out of the game. A lot of realtors are leaving the industry. And like I said, a lot of realtors who normally 2-3 months ago, I'd see social media posts, oh, hey, I'm showing 3 clients' houses. They're very, very quiet. So I'd say right now we're looking at a little bit of a slowdown. I think a lot of people have to rethink this whole buyer broker, what the market's going to be like. People are talking like flat rate stuff. That's starting to surface again. It is getting to be a scary market if you're a realtor. So just understand that right now we're kind of in a little bit of a slow market. I think real estate will always have some like steps behind it, right? It'll always be like you're hearing footsteps. You're hearing something, the bad's going to happen. Interest rates are low. Interest rates are high. Inventory is up. Inventory is down. Buyer broker, all that kind of stuff. There's always going to be something in real estate that is getting people a little scared. I think this one, though, is legit. And I definitely am seeing people exit the real estate market. I'd say a lot of also people who've been here forever, they just don't like the change. And they're like, you know what? I was ready to get out. So I'm gone. So I think it's going to be that way probably towards the end of the year. I think by the time maybe February rolls around, the buyer broker, the commission, all that kind of stuff is going to be somewhat normalized. People are going to know what it means, the structure and everything too. And I think we're going to go back to business as usual. But like I said, you never know. Okay, let's go to this. Oof. Guys, you must be loving that. Look at that. Now, like I said, when I show you guys this every single week, it's not meant to tell you that you can get a 6.38. It's all about credit, down payment type of loan. But I do like the idea of seeing this as far as the trend, right? So you hear a dip, went up, and now we're going back down again. And it's like supposedly as of yesterday, we were the lowest we've seen it since May. I think it's like May of 2020, 21, something like that. But it's like getting lower. And a lot of people that I'm talking to are thinking 5s. I don't like to guess, so I'm not going to, but I would say right now it's going to be an interesting market. I think you got buyers who are just kind of waiting around. They're saying to themselves, I think it's going to get lower. And as much as Mark keeps preaching that eventually there's going to be so much demand hitting the market, prices could go up. We could be in a crazy market of multiple offers, appraisal contingencies waived. We're going to wait. Why not? School started. We got soccer. I get it. I just think that you guys, there's going to be a number that if we get down to the 5s, it could flip around. You could see prices slowly start to go up, and it's not going to be as easy to jump on a house. That being said, it goes back to what I was talking about inventory. Inventory is still not fantastic. I mean, who wants to see a house that's been on the market for 6 months? A lot of people aren't looking for deals. They're looking at forever, and it just doesn't really kind of work for them. So I don't know. Interest rates, I think, are what they are today. A lot of people are saying they're going down, but time your life, don't time the market. Don't figure out what it's going to, or don't kind of guesstimate what it's going to be like in a week or two. All right. Now the Zillow touring agreement. This is something that I've been wanting to talk a little bit about, so please indulge me a little bit in maybe a quick 2 minutes. Zillow put this agreement out that if you sign it, you get like 7 days and you get to tour, and there's no obligation, and you have to pay the realtor and all that stuff. And then after the 7 days over, you can decide if that's your realtor, and then you talk about compensation. For me, it's amazing that Zillow is the only entity that's been able to actually put this out. Some say it's illegal. Some say it just doesn't make any sense. Some say, why would realtors, do this? I don't know. I kind of want to know what you guys think about this too. For me, I think it's a little bit of a joke. I think, as everybody knows, Zillow works off leads. And so in order to basically sell leads to realtors, they need to have something in place where they say, no, they're still using you guys. So, please pay us our Zillow money every single month. For me, I see that, but let me know what you think. Also, guys, if you guys want to, no pressure, here is my Instagram account. Please feel free to follow it as well, too. I'll show you a little bit of our daily journeys. We were actually in Pilot Hill yesterday looking at an amazing property. This house was like a compound. It was so beautiful, country living. But the thing about this house also, it was a country living, but it was meticulously maintained. Views of Folsom Lake, clear day, Mount Diablo. It had an ADU that was something out of Interior Design Magazine. Views galore, fantastic. It's just a stellar home. I think it's going to fly. And one of the best things about this home, too, is the fact that it was not on California Fair Plan. And Pilot Hill, that's really weird, but no. So that thing could be coming to the market relatively soon. All right, next one. Home buyers way back into the housing market as mortgage rates fall for the 5th week in a row. Wade, not jump, not dive. I think they're feeling it out. I think a lot of home buyers are still saying to themselves, it's going to go lower. I'm willing to take a little bit of a risk, and that's what I'm looking at. So for me, I think they're like really dipping their little pinky into the market. They're getting prepared. They're figuring out, hopefully getting educated in the market, the communities, square footage, how fast things are moving, getting a good mortgage broker and getting a fantastic real estate team like my team to work with you guys and get ourselves like in pounce position. So if something comes up, the interest rate looks good for you, we can jump on something. If you guys are enjoying this video, this live that we do every single Wednesday, it's 7 p.m. Please smash that like button. If you guys have any questions, guys, I'm going to be going over some of the things that people love about Sacramento in 2024, but I will take a nice time out and answer anyone's questions. If you have questions about new homes, custom homes, buying land, areas, rumors, gossip, whatever you guys want to talk about in the real estate market, let me know. I have a team of 5 people. We work the entire Sacramento area, Sacramento County, Placer, West Sacramento, El Dorado Hills, and up Pilot Hill and all that stuff too. So we cover it all. And we work with a lot of people who are looking to relocate to the area. And if that's you, I'll give you my number one more time. Say, I got it. Feel free to reach out to my team, guys. We'd love to absolutely work with you and get you into a home. Now, if you are thinking about listing your home and you're someone who's maybe living in the Sacramento area, those areas maybe I mentioned, I'll tell you one thing, guys. We've sold 8 houses via YouTube videos, and we market them specifically towards people not only in the Sacramento area, but to the Bay Area. So if you're one of those people and your houses are sitting and you're scratching your head going, I'm not really sure why it's not moving. It could possibly just be marketed towards the Sacramento area. And I get it. That's definitely an area it should be marketed to. But other areas like the Bay Area, because the price point is a lot more, these are the type of buyers who can come in, look at a house, and grab it. So if you are seeing your house and it is stale, it isn't moving, reach out to my team. We can show you some analytics and we can show you some marketing kind of like strategies that have been working great for our clients. Like I said, a lot of our listings don't really hang out for that long. And like I said, we always show the analytics to our clients about how it is reaching a target market of, like the Bay Area, Los Angeles, Portland, you name it. We can market them. So there you go. All right, next one. Let's go into the 10 things, and we'll talk a little bit about this. And if I missed any, please let me know. Number 1, affordability. One of the nicest things about Sacramento, and this is coming from a Bay Area boy, grew up in the Bay Area, grew up in Marin County, is affordability. I was always growing up in Marin. I saw Marin just skyrocket. It was one of those markets where a majority of my friends still in the Marin County area rent. Sad but true. Kind of same thing is somewhat happening in Sacramento, a tad bit, but a lot of people were in that situation where either they inherited a house from mom and dad, or they were just trying to grab something that they could basically get. And growing up in the Bay Area, you have this mentality that you say to yourself, look, I'm not really going to be picky. If I can get something, I'm going to be pretty happy with it, right? If I can buy something in the Bay Area, that's going to be the best thing in the world. So you have that mentality until you finally reach out to somewhere like the Sacramento area, which I love. And I should have came here a whole long ago. And you come out here and you say to yourself, you know what? I don't have to settle. I don't have to just pay a $10,000 mortgage for like a 2-bedroom condo. Maybe my favorite pizza place is down the block. Maybe I can go see a Giants game. But honestly, I could also get myself a movie room. I could also get a swimming pool. I can also order in. So like there's a lot of things that Sacramento has as far as affordability. I mean, if you guys, with maybe like you can come in here and there's certain areas in the Sacramento area where I would say like you can get something for under 500. If you didn't see my videos, check them out below. Some nice areas, North Natomas, a Rosemont area. You can even get close to Down Park, certain parts of Oak Park, Antelope, some Rosevilles and everything too. So, I mean, there's spots you can get for like under $500,000. Now for $1 million, and I know for a lot of people in Sacramento, they're like, man, $1 million, that's, you can get whatever you want here. You can. So I would say for a lot of people in the Bay Area, if you are thinking about Sacramento, don't fall in the trap I fell into where I underestimated Sacramento. I drove through it on the way to Tahoe. It was flat. It was hot. I didn't really want to stop there. Take a look at certain areas, call my team, let us do the whole Julie McCoy from the Love Boat tour for you and show you a little bit about Sacramento's all about. Like I said, when I finally ended up here, I was kind of confused that I'd never kind of like checked this stuff out. I live in Gold River right now. It is green. It is beautiful. It is nice. Not the HOA, but other than that, fantastic area. Central and everything too. And then you got like Folsom, El Dorado Hills. You got Rockland. You have golf course communities. You have houses on man-made lakes. Sacramento really does have it all. So if you're someone who's maybe thinking about making the move, but you're hearing from people, oh, Sacramento this, Sacramento that, give me a call or at least take a weekend to come out and let me show you a little bit about what I didn't know about Sacramento that you definitely need to know about before you make a decision. Okay, so affordability, like I said, under $500,000, still possible. Not a lot of choices, but still possible. $750, you're getting yourself a nice 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, probably even like a new home, but that's later on the list. So there's some great affordability. You can buy a house here. You're not breaking the bank. And, you can still get a nice sized backyard, community vibe. It's really, really nice. Okay, so number 2, let's talk a little bit about jobs. If you're someone in the Bay Area, every time a tech company sneezes or like does bad, everyone's freaking out, right? All of a sudden, the real estate market is affected. Unemployment numbers are getting up there and everything too. Now, one of the things I like about Sacramento is we have a diversification of jobs like no other spot in California. Why? State capital, state jobs. And even in case in point, a lot of my realtor buddies who are getting out of the game have gotten state jobs. They actually segued right into a state job. So we have a lot of state jobs here in Sacramento, state capital. We also have medical. We got Kaiser. We got Dignity Health. We got Mercy, UC Davis Medical Center. We've got a lot of medical as well here. Now, not only just for nurses and doctors, and I always say this, but it's for infrastructure jobs as well. Accounting, payroll, all that fun stuff. So there's a lot of infrastructure as well there. Now, we also do have tech. You got Intel, you got Micron, you got HP, you got Amazon, you have Apple. So we do have tech as well here, but it's not like we're top heavy with tech. We basically have a nice balance so that a company like Intel who's doing layoffs doesn't really kill an economy, right? It's not killing Folsom. Folsom's actually leaning into other things like what's called like schools, right? All the schools that are being built in Folsom, the infrastructure, all the other buildings that are being built in Folsom, the commercial in Folsom is already sold out in Folsom Ranch. So our job-wise, Sacramento has a nice balance of jobs, which honestly, I can't find any other spot in the Sacramento area or in California in general, or even, honestly, even the United States, it has this nice balance. And if the economy is a little shaky, if we're jumping into a recession, or if we are in a recession, don't you want to be somewhere where you have a little bit more of a stability in your job? Doesn't that freak you out? Because for me, when I was in the Bay Area, I was working for a tech company, and I was always freaking out about like layoffs, about rounds of layoffs. That's just not a way to live. So I'd say maybe segue over and become a Cisco engineer at one of the state areas. Like a friend of mine, Brett, he's at the DMV right now, and he's a Cisco engineer making great money. He's like 53 right now, and he plans on retiring at 55 with pretty much, like I think he said, like 85% of his salary. So not a bad way to go. All right, Dan, what is up, my friend? Okay, Dan. Now, I'm going to segue into Dan right now, because he sent me something about like kind of like sketchy contractors and builders and everything too. Now, for me, Dan Loesch, if you haven't seen the videos with where I have of him and when he's on here and answering the questions, we're going to be doing another video. He is my favorite builder in all the Sacramento area. I kid you not. He is the most knowledgeable and quality builder that I've ever seen in the Sacramento area. So if you guys are looking for an addition, for a home for a project or even just questions, Dan is the man. So Dan, if you could, but you are right, Folsom's housing market is hot, but please put your phone number, because I know a lot of people right now are probably thinking ADUs, thinking about maybe even building a custom home, and man, you are the man. So, okay. So we hit jobs. Now let's talk about location, right? Sacramento has a very nice location. What do I mean by that? A couple months, I'm going to be in Tahoe. It's going to take me about an hour and 20 minutes to take my daughter snowboarding. Close to Napa. If you're in Elk Grove, you're about what? An hour and 20 minutes from the Bay Area. Everywhere else is like an hour 30, hour 40. Not too shabby of a location. We have our own airport and all that stuff too. So it's kind of a nice area. It's also central to a lot of things that people want to do in Sacramento. You got Folsom Lake, American River. You got Sacramento River as well too. You got rafting, you got boating, you got fishing, you got photography. Really, really a fantastic location. And you get to see the seasons change. Do we have hot summers? Absolutely. Not going to go there. But at the same time, is if the worst of a location is basically that we just get like maybe 3 or 4 weeks of like super hot weather, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with living in a spot that we don't have tornadoes, hurricanes, and all that stuff. So for me, location is fantastic. Number 4, growth potential. As we've seen within the last few years, there's been a lot of people who literally within like maybe 4 years time have made like a couple $100,000 on their homes. The growth potential in Sacramento is just nuts. All the stuff that's being developed, you got the Whitney Ranch kind of retail center that's being built. You got all these other things developing downtown. You have the A's coming in for 3 years. God, the growth potential in the Sacramento area is fantastic. And a lot of people are looking at that before moving in. They're wondering, and one of the questions I get a lot is, hey, Mark, where do you think if we buy houses, will we see good appreciation? For me, honestly, I think a lot of the spots in Sacramento, I think it's hard to say, I think it's just about which ones will get more, right? Like for me, Folsom, you got to pay a little bit more, but Folsom's going to be amazing. I mean, like Dana is totally right. The home market is hot in Folsom, and I don't even remember a time when Folsom's market wasn't hot. So for me, I like Folsom. You might have to pay a little bit more, but I think it's good. They're building they've started, and they're going to continue to build about 30,000 homes. They got another high school on its way. They got another middle school, another elementary school. They already got Vista over there, Folsom High. Then you got, what do you got? You got Elk Grove building a whole bunch of houses in the 757. The new home company just opened one in the 758. They got tons of building over there as well too. West Sacramento is just growing. They actually are tapping in their luxury market on the water over there as well too. What else? Then we got West Roseville, another one, huge. Tons of houses. Probably one of the leaders of new homes right now is West Roseville. And then all of a sudden you shoot over to Lincoln. More new homes. And they've got land, and they're going to go for a long, long time. And then you got a couple builders. What is it? Anthem. And then you have GMC that are building up in Whitney Ranch as well, too, in Rockland. So we have got so much building. New home, like the growth potential of Sacramento is limitless. And I think a lot of people are seeing that. If you get a job, you get an affordable house, you're going to see the jobs roll in. You're going to see appreciation, and it's a nice area. Now, nothing's guaranteed. This is real estate. But as far as areas that like the Bay Area where you rely on NVIDIA not doing bad, or Google or Facebook jobs and everything too, it's kind of nice to be in a situation where, you're not relying so much on that. You're in a location that for the most part, you're not paying like $3 million for like a 2-bedroom house. You're in an area where, it's reasonable. And if you get yourself maybe a Zoom job, maybe you get yourself maybe a job that like is decent as far as the pay goes, Sacramento is an area where your home can grow and appreciate. And I love that. My home, same thing. That's one of the main reasons I bought in Gold River, because our team was looking at the various areas where we knew would pop. Gold River was one of those spots that we were looking at. We're saying like, it's amazing that people do not know about Gold River. I bought in Gold River, never looked back. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5, new homes. One of the things about growing up in the Bay Area is I never even had that idea, the concept that you could have a new home. Mid-century modern, things are renovated, things that you had to fix up. That was kind of the whole thing about buying a home in the Bay Area in Marin County. And so for me, the idea of new homes is just insane. It's insane that you can go somewhere and get a great room concept house. Like the one I just showed you, hopefully you guys saw that video in Folsom, that a lot of people were looking at and going, man, that view isn't great. The view is good. The idea of not having anyone in the backyard is fantastic. And all that under $800,000. out the door. I mean, that's just fantastic. Where are you going to get that anywhere else but Sacramento in a location like I mentioned? So the new homes, guys, you can come right in. There's areas like Antelope. There's areas like Lincoln where you can, and Linda over there too, close to Sacramento, where you can get houses for under $500,000. You know, for $750, you can go to Roseville, you can go to Elk Grove, even in Folsom if you want to go to Lariat and Canterley at Tri-Point. So as far as new homes, you know, don't be so scared. Oh my God, you know, the new homes are going to be more expensive. They're actually not. They're very competitive with resale. And the beautiful part about new homes is that, let's say, for example, you're priced out in the resale market and you're like, even with these lower rates at 6.3, I'm still not able to jump in there. A lot of these new home communities right now are offering buy downs of 3.5, 4.0. I mean, like, so you get these buy downs and every point is about maybe 300 to 500 per month on your payment. So you can actually buy more home, lower interest rate, lock it in, and have yourself a brand new home, energy efficient, great room concept with solar. That's not bad. So new homes are definitely one of the reasons why a lot of people are moving to the Sacramento area. I do not think that there's an area in California that has more new home building than the Sacramento area. Number 6, California lifestyle. We love our pools. We love our barbecues. We love our changing of seasons. And I'd say a lot of people who are living in maybe, you know, Southern California, a lot of people who are living in the Bay Area are just sick and tired of paying their huge mortgage payment, not having money in the bank, but they still want the California lifestyle. Guys, here in Sacramento, seasons change. Pools, barbecues, boats. That's what we're all about here in Sacramento. So a lot of people are moving here for just that. Number 7, farm to table. 7 is a good one, guys. A lot of people don't know that Sacramento is a farm to table capital of the world. That's right, the world. And what that means? That means we have got fresh produce. So when you're going to eat at some of our restaurants, some of our areas, we have fresh veggies for you. You can even buy them and cook at your house. Start a YouTube channel. It's fantastic. And I'll tell you something. It feels really good when you're going to some of these places to eat and you know you're getting the freshest veggies and fruits for your family. So I absolutely love it. I've even started cooking. I got my organic garden in the back as well too, getting inspired. And so one of the things a lot of people do when they move into the Sacramento area is they start planting, growing, and they start eating better. So I like that. Okay, number 8, outdoor appeal. If you're someone who's basically in the Bay Area, you maybe got an apartment down on Nob Hill or something, and you're saying to yourself, I don't really get that I don't really have that option to have that outdoor vibe. A lot of people love the idea in Sacramento of building out their backyard, resort style living. You know, you got your barbecue area, you got your pool, or maybe you got a jacuzzi out there as well too. A lot of people love that kind of lifestyle, and the outdoor appeal is so nice in Sacramento. One of the main reasons too is like summertime. Like right now it's kind of like what, 97 degrees, and it's what, 7:30. So it's about 97 degrees and it's 7:30, which, yeah, that's not great. And like I said, we do get a little hot here. But at the same time, for me, 9:30? Probably be out and back. I'll be out. Sorry, I can't speak right tonight. I will probably be out in my backyard at 9:30. I'll probably barbecue something up and I'll be hanging out listening to some music. So the outdoor appeal of Sacramento and the lifestyle you can have here in like almost every areas, but some of the areas like Serrano, like what's called Whitney Oaks, like Grant Bay, people absolutely love that. Outdoor entertaining, the outdoor appeal of Sacramento is off the hook. Number 9, moving mom in. A lot of people, what we notice too is they get in situations, especially in the Bay Area, where they, you know, mom needs to be taken care of, mom or dad. And you don't have the space in the Bay Area to do that. A lot of the people that we move into Sacramento are saying, hey, we want a house that maybe has, or we want a piece of land that has maybe 2 homes. We want a house that has a next-gen suite. What we've been seeing more than anything is that a lot of the families are moving in together and they need bigger houses. But they still don't want to spend like what, $3 or $4 million moving into Danville and Blackhawk. So they want to move here. They want to West Roseville maybe, and they want to buy something that's maybe like what, 3,500 square feet, under $950. Can it be done? Yes, it can. So mom or dad can have a space to move into, the kids can stay longer, and people absolutely love that. And we see that a lot in Elk Grove, we see that a lot in West Roseville and in various areas. But we are seeing right now, and especially since COVID, people want to have their families close. And that's been one of those things that Sacramento's answered the call for a lot of people, AKA Elk Grove, Taylor Morrison, the Drake, the Sawyer. They're loving it. And this is one of the reasons why also almost every single builder that you're going to see has at least one big floor plan that has a next-gen suite. Okay, 10, the compound effect. One of the things that I've noticed also about Sacramento is the fact that compounds have become a big, big thing. What do I mean by that? Ever since COVID, the idea that like a lot of people got claustrophobic, a lot of people felt that idea of like, I got to do my Zoom call over there. You got to do your Zoom call over there. We're not really like, it's too small of a space. So everyone got a little claustrophobic. So now the COVID part one is done. Everyone decided to move to Sacramento and create their own compound. They got their nice backyard area. They got their nice big house. So if we ever hit into another pandemic, that you'll be able to have a compound. So I've been seeing more and more that people have been moving in the Sacramento area that crave the compound effect here in Sacramento. And this is kind of what I've been seeing. That's why areas like Grant Bay, areas like Folsom, areas like El Dorado Hills, people love that kind of vibe of having either like one giant house with maybe an in-law unit, a nice backyard area, maybe an ADU, or some of these houses that maybe have a couple houses on a couple homes on the lots. So the compound effect is definitely really, really kind of like known here, and people absolutely love it. And that's one of the reasons why, you know, like Sacramento's got really, really big, because people are seeing these videos of some of these amazing backyards. They're seeing the price tag associated with it. They're realizing that they could never afford this in the Bay Area, and they're deciding, well, maybe if we ever get into another pandemic, we're going to need something where it has like maybe 2 offices to work out of. We're going to need a spot where we can entertain our family and not absolutely get claustrophobic. So the compound effect is another huge reason why people are loving moving to Sacramento in 2024. Okay, guys, that was my top 10 list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. But this is kind of a top 10 list that my team and I put together based on people calling us, based on the clients we've been moving in. A lot of people have been going directly for one or two or three of these reasons. So hopefully this helped you out. And this is why Sacramento is still so popular in 2024. Okay, so let's get into some other stuff. Let's get into some comments. Let's get into some questions. These are all comments that came into the YouTube channel during the course of the week, and we will answer them, go over some polls, and let you guys out for the night. Like I said, if you could and you're enjoying the broadcast, please smash that like button. If you have any questions specifically, let me know as well too. Okay. Are you back in the housing market with current rates? This was 2 hours ago. Expect rate chasers to hold out as long as possible. Not saying that's a good idea though. In any market, you're going to have people who are kind of waiting for everything to bottom out. Not a lot of people are going to know exactly when that bottom is going to be. I would say this, and I'm not going to tell you don't do it or to jump in or to do whatever. I mean, that's just your personal choice, your personal decision. I mean, this is your journey about buying a house or selling a house, no one else's. I will say this, though, get educated, right? One of the things that I would say for someone who's maybe looking to jump into Sacramento and they're saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to wait till rates get to 5%, then I'm going to jump in. Know the communities, know the areas, know the housing styles, know like the floor plans. Like the thing about Sacramento that makes it kind of interesting, especially if you're in an area like Roseville or Folsom, note the square footage, because what you're going to see is there's a lot of tract homes here in the Sacramento area. This is something I ran into when I moved in here. And so if you see a floor plan that's like, you know, it doesn't have to be brand new. It could be something that was built like maybe even like 15 years ago, and it's like 2,035 square feet, and you love that floor plan, but you're just not ready to jump in. You want rates to get lower. Just take a note of that square feet and quarter-mile radius, and if anything pops up, usually it's going to be the same floor plan. So understanding the floor plans, understanding the communities, understanding the areas, understanding exactly what you're looking for when the rate hits where you need it to is vital. So just get educated, right? Even if you're not thinking about buying this moment, come out to the Sacramento area, let our team show you a little bit of like what Sacramento's all about, answer any questions you might have. Now, if you're saying to yourself, you know what, I'm not even driving out, I'm not even doing that. Maybe I'll look at Zillow a few times, but I'm not even ready for that. I don't want that conversation. I'd say feel free to text us. Text us any questions you might have, or ask your comments on this YouTube channel, and we'll bring them up in our next live session on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. All right. Boom. Buyers not happy. Sacramento real estate. Okay, so this is just about like some buyers not being too excited. Elk Grove has got the Sky River Casino. That's been kind of one of those things that's been kind of a bone of contention. For me, I've never been there, right? But I've gotten mixed reviews from people. Some people say they love it. Some people, when we show houses, they actually go there before or after we show them houses in Elk Grove. I've never been there, so I can't really give you a good opinion on it. For me, though, I don't know if I would buy a house close to a casino, but that's only me. Okay, Casablanca is a Moroccan, not Ethiopian. Morocco is similar to Arabic food. Okay, cool. I can't wait. I'm going to be doing a video probably at this one restaurant with one of the realtors in our office relatively soon. So hang out for that one. That one's going to be fun. I'm also going to be dropping more videos about like food, about like things that have been happening in Sacramento area. But they're not going to be long, boring videos like this one. They're going to be short, condensed clips talking about places to go for lunch, breweries, things to do in Sacramento. Because for me, I was thinking to myself, like, if I was moving to Sacramento right now and I was seeing like, all these people telling me like, buy, don't buy, sell, don't sell, like, I'd be getting hungry. I'd be getting thirsty. So if I'm in Sacramento, hopefully there's some good food, good things to do. So I'll be dropping some videos like that for you guys. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And also let me know if you guys have any topics you want me to do quick videos on as well too. All right, we got Wendy. Hey Mark, do you recommend a condo as a startup? I'm priced out here in the Bay Area, but I think Roseville and Elk Grove got too expensive now. I would say if you can, go single family. The thing that's kind of brutal about Sacramento is condos tend to have, and just if you say, hey, forget it, Mark, I'm going for a condo, just make sure that the condo HOA doesn't have any deferred maintenance. I've seen people run into problems with that. I would also say the condos tend to have the highest HOAs. And I mean, we're talking like, I know some condo developments that are like 1,200 HOAs. So just make sure the HOAs aren't that high. Condos for me, shared wall, but also a lot more stuff gets taken care of. I would say the big thing is going to be kind of matching up on your loan with the amount of HOA, deferred maintenance versus getting a single family home in, maybe in a resale area of Elk Grove or Roseville that maybe doesn't have Melrose or HOAs. So I think that like, the numbers are going to tell you which one you should go to. So like I said, run the numbers with your lender on a special on condos that you're running into, but also just gauge that the HOA is definitely going to factor into what you can get pre-approved for and everything too. A lot of people that I work with now and again will go the condo direction, like the Zephyr condos over in Roseville. I have an amazing client that jumped into that as their starter home, and it's going to be their first investment home. Now, we looked at single family homes, but that condo's location to the Palladio to the Galleria and to the Fountains was so good that we jumped in. It was funny because what's called in every condo community or any HOA, there's always like a percentage of units that can be rented and a percentage that can't. So just also make sure about that as well too. So he actually bought the condo. He plans on living in it for 2 years. He's on actually a list, and they're telling him that in about a year's time that he'll be on that list to actually be able to rent the condo as well too. So those would be the only things I'd watch out for. Condo can be good, but make sure you're checking about the deferred maintenance, make sure how much the HOA is and what that factors into your mortgage payment, and if it makes it a little bit cheaper maybe even to buy a house. And location. Just make sure no matter what you're buying, whether it's a condo or house or whatever, that you're close to maybe like hospitals, commercial or something like that. So that'd be my 2 cents for you. And like I said, if you want to, feel free to give me a buzz. I talk about this literally all day. Yes, I have no life, but yes, I do talk about this a lot. Okay, Sacramento housing market trends you can't ignore. I cannot sell until rates drop a lot more. A lot of people are either in two boats. One is they're saying to themselves, I can't sell until rates drop a lot more. And the other boat is, why would I want to sell until rates drop a whole lot more? And that kind of explains what I was talking about the inventory. Like we're seeing inventory pile up. Not a lot of new stuff is popping up, right? And there's probably a little bit more, but not a whole lot more. But what I'm saying is a lot of people are saying to themselves, I got a 2.75. Everyone's talking about how rates are dropping. Okay, rates are in the low sixes. Again, I got a 2.75, so I'm pretty good where I'm at. This is the kind of trend that a lot of sellers are basically kind of in right now. And I always tell people it's always the 3 Ds that I'm seeing for people selling their homes. Death, divorce, and departing the state. Those are the 3 things that I see people selling their homes. And it's still kind of the trend right now that I'm seeing. A lot of the listing appointments are regarding that. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. And like I said, a lot of people, if you have a 2.75 are just not going anywhere unless they really, really have to. All right. Pros and cons of living in Sacramento, 2024. Regarding the internet, Is it good in areas like Roseville, El Dorado Hills, and surrounding suburbs? Thanks. El Dorado Hills, you're going to be on what's called, there's some areas in El Dorado Hills you're going to be on FrontierNet. Absolutely. Now, here's the thing for you guys. No matter what area you buy into, whether it's even downtown Sacramento, Xfinity, AT&T, they all got websites that you can verify based on the address if you can actually get service there. So for me, if I ever make the move, even, I moved here in Gold River and everyone's like, oh, internet's fine. I went to Xfinity, I typed in my address, and I found out I have service here. So I would say, like, one of the things you want to look about is like home insurance. You want to look at, like, also make sure that you have good internet. Internet's a huge one, guys. In the world that we live in, as much as we want to be one of those, Hallmark movies where we throw our phone away. I mean, we love Spotify. I don't know what a realtor would do without GPS. I mean, we just honestly need the internet. So I would say before pulling the trigger on a house, even in Roseville, where I don't think you're going to run into too many spots like that, if at all, I would say just go online, check the Xfinity website, and make sure that you're going to get internet, because how much of a buzzkill would that be if all the kids are wanting to like stream stuff and you're trying to get on a Zoom call and all of a sudden you have you have a dish that isn't working right. So I would say for you guys out there, I have seen spots in El Dorado Hills where they have what's called, they have satellite dish, dial up. I've seen stuff in Elk Grove as well in the 758 that actually had satellite and didn't have. So just be aware and just check your surroundings and just make sure all these things are boxes that you're like checking. A lot of realtors don't even factor this stuff in. They don't check this stuff. And so I would just say, have a list of things that, you yourself need to check out and verify, because after the deal is done, your realtor might be gone with the wind. So just understand that this is something definitely to check out. All right. Guess what's coming to Rockland, California. Yep. Guys, one of the things is I'm dropping some short content. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it. But the short content that I've been dropping is about like things that have been happening in the area. Now, in Rockland and Whitney Ranch, there's going to be the Whitney Ranch Retail Center. Hopefully you guys saw the video, but it's going to be basically the Nugget. There's going to be, I think, 10 other stores. They're gearing it up to be kind of like a little mini kind of Play-Doh, but there's also space for them to expand. I think they're kind of testing out the market. But like, here's the thing about Whitney Ranch. I mean, they have over 40,000 residents on that area. JMC is still building out another 2 communities over there. You got Anthem as well. And on the other side, you got like Whitney Oaks, you got Toll Brothers. So they have the residents to actually make this really good. I wouldn't be surprised if they started with this like Whitney Ranch Retail Center, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger. I think that area definitely needs it. I think, I talked to a few people and they're like, yeah, we're going to Lincoln or we're going to Roseville. There's so many houses and so many residents in that area. They already got the high schools. They've already got like everything else. I mean, if they have this commercial area, and it grows and it just develops into something like the fountains and the Galleria, woof, it's not only going to help Rockland and Whitney Ranch, it's also going to help 12 Bridges in Lincoln, because if you go down Wildcat and that's maybe about a 12 minute drive. So all the people living over there in the Taylor Morrison, Saratoga, or bought over at, Quahog, Creekside Preserve, I think that was it. You're just going to have a 12-minute drive to go over the Whitney Ranch Community Center as well, too. Or retail center. So it's going to be good. Hopefully it develops. I think we need a lot more commercial in the Sacramento area. I know a lot of like OG Sacramento people are like, no more building, please. But I know we have so many houses being built that it's going to just cause more traffic if everyone is driving to Roseville for the shopping. So hopefully they have more commercial in Rockland, in Lincoln, in Elk Grove, because it's going to ease traffic. Believe me, it really, really will. All right, Wendy, how are you doing tonight? How's the presidential election going to impact real estate sellers and buyers? Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump. Which potential candidate creates a richer market, please? Thank you very much, Mark. That Aaron's a little bit more like into that as far as that goes. I mean, everyone's going to have their opinions as far as the election going. And you and I can talk a little bit about it offline, or I would say give Aaron a call and ask him about that. I don't know. Honestly, I think a lot of people right now are just very much nervous about which candidate's going to do what. I think a lot of people that are going, and I'm not going to go red or blue on this one because we don't really do this on this podcast. I'd say a lot of people are feeling that a certain candidate might go in the real estate direction and the other candidate might not. I know I'm being very vague. I apologize for that. I don't know. I just think that right now, the main thing about the election is the uncertainty of who's going to win. And I think that in elections, previous elections, the real estate market has been so impacted by who wins and who loses that people are just nervous. It's like, it's like watching something and you're just not sure because one way or another, your house price rates could be affected by the person who gets elected, and you're just not sure like what direction the market's going to go in. And I know I'm being very vague, and like I don't really like talking politics on this podcast, but I would say for you, Wendy, and I was going to bring up one of your comments too about listing your home in December. I will tell you this: I'm not saying it's a bad idea, because honestly, I say if rates go down to the 5s, you could see prices start to go up a little bit. I would say though, for you, because you do live in Gold River, I would say for you, the main thing is you've got to just gauge. And you feel free to give us a call or, send us a text or whatever. You just got to gauge what number is going to get the demand back in the market. Like I said, I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of people sell their homes. I think a lot of people are locked into like 2.75s and they're going to enjoy the holidays. But I do think that if you do list in December, the rate's got to be low in the 5s. And I do think that in your neck of the woods, you've really got to time the market where nothing in that area is coming up for sale. And if you can do that, I think you have a good chance in selling your home for a nice price. But it's really, there's a lot of things you got to put in place. It's not just as easy as like December's going to come around, we're taking good pictures and we're going to just drop it on and sell it. You've just got to keep really in tune with interest rates, inventory, and market the property properly. So like I said, I wish you the best. I think it could be good, but it might not be too as well too. And it might just be better to list it in spring, but it all depends like on interest rates and inventory and all that stuff too. So hang in there. And like I said, Wendy, I'm around if you want to talk about it. All right. Next one. All right, we got polls, and man, this could be a short night. All right, who's looking forward to Toll Brothers in Roseville? Okay, so like I said last week, and I broke the news. So my buddy Sam Galovy can't break this news, or no one else. Toll Brothers' next big community is going to be in Roseville. For me, I was thinking that they were going to build somewhere like maybe like, I don't know, like Lincoln threw me it was so funny. I was talking to Joe from Toll Brothers, and I was like, I'm like, I can't, so you're working out of Lincoln? No, Bickford Ranch, Loomis Schools. And I'm like, okay, hey, don't yell at me. But I was kind of confused about where Toll Brothers was building the Bickford Ranch but I mean, Tri-Point's out there as well too. Like I said, it's still far away from me. So Roseville kind of threw me a little bit for a loop, but not as bad as Bickford Ranch did. I wish them the best, and I think Roseville is due. I'm curious to see where exactly in Roseville they're going to build, if they're going to build in West Roseville, or if they found a nice big chunk of land that's maybe a little bit more central Roseville. It's going to be interesting to see where Toll Brothers is actually going to be building, but hopefully they break ground maybe next year, because I think a lot of people in Roseville would be really interested in buying a Toll Brothers home. All right. Oh, no problem, Wendy. And like I said, feel free to hit me offline. And definitely Aaron. Aaron is so in tune with the election. It's not even funny. And like I said, for us, we always wish you the best. I mean, just keep in tune with the market. That's all I will say. Is Tim Lewis a good builder? Yes, 78%. No, 22%. It's funny with Tim Lewis. Toll Brothers was funny because, so Toll Brothers wasn't really building in Sacramento, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. Tim Lewis was kind of the luxury builder here in Sacramento. It was like Tim Lewis. Toll Brothers then started becoming more of a presence here. New home company started to build a little bit more in the luxury space. Now you got Premier Homes building in the luxury space. So Tim Lewis, it's interesting. I've been hearing more and more people kind of talk a little bit like not fantastic about Tim Lewis. I myself have always been kind of a fan of the floor plans and the build. But it's interesting that, the 22% said no, which is very interesting to me. So if you guys ever have like any build stories or a builder it just didn't go the right way, please let me know, because I definitely love to talk about it a little bit on this program, because a lot of people who watch this show are going in the new home direction. And I want you guys to know, I don't know if I could say there's a good builder, bad builder, or, I mean, I think there's definitely different qualities of builders based on the price points. But I definitely think inspections, I definitely think doing an inspection at least like 10 months after you have that house before that 1-year warranty kicks in is a good idea. Just be careful with anything. And I'm not saying builders are bad. I'm just saying when you build something in mass quantities, something could go wrong, probably more than not. So that's it. Not more than not. How can I say this? When you build a bunch of homes at a time, no matter how good of a crew you have, it's just the production line kind of situation. And every home is a little different with the floor plans and all that stuff too. I would just say that, you definitely need to inspect it. And I would say, of course, that, now and again, they're going to run into a home that maybe has an issue here and there, just because it's, for me at least, it's kind of logical that would happen. It's like with Toyota, right? Toyota is a fantastic car, but I'm guessing not every single Toyota built has been fabulous. I'm sure people have had horror stories with Toyota. So I guess what I'm saying is that with the amount of houses that are being built in the Sacramento area, with the amount of different crews that are being used, if it was me, I would definitely do inspections. There we go. All right. 103 lot neighborhood under development in Roseville. They're building more homes in Roseville. Roseville is on fire. They're going to be building more and more homes in Roseville. Like I said, it's just nuts. I mean, Elk Grove, I think for, summertime was the hot area. I still think it's going to go that. I think Folsom Ranch has cooled off a little bit. Taylor Morrison's leaving. Roseville's going to be building more. Guys, I think we will be seeing so much new home growth, development, building in our market for a long time. We have land. The Bay Area doesn't. Los Angeles, Southern California doesn't. We've got land. We've got location. We've got jobs. I don't think we're going to stop building for a long time. Now, with the new homes, do I think that they might have overbuilt this summer? Yeah, I think summer was a little slow. Can you probably get a deal right now in the new home space with the rates that they're doing? Yeah, these rate drops are seeing like 3.5s, 4%. The company, the builder, is actually paying for these buy downs, but only on the houses that are already built or pretty much ready to go. So they did overbuild a little bit, but I do think that if interest rates kind of continue to drop, you could see these incentives go away. So just keep in tune with that as well too. Don't assume that the incentives and the buy downs are offering are in all homes, and don't assume that these buy downs are going to last for a long time. I think that they're not doing this out of the goodness of their heart. They're doing it because there is a little, these houses probably should have sold during summertime, and they didn't. They got to get rid of them because, especially like in Rancho with KHOV, they're doing that 3.5 promotion. They still have another 6 other communities ready to build in the queue. They have got to get these things gone and off the books so they can get more money, build more homes, and make more money. So just understand that low buy downs right now are definitely for the houses that are sitting or almost ready to be released. And just understand that when those are gone, if interest rates continue to drop, you could see incentives go away. So just be prepared. All right, let's get some questions. Boom. All right, Wendy, thank you so much for answering my question about the condo market. I love the Galleria and the fountains, but I have 2 young children, so I prefer to be closer to good schools and within Roseville. Yeah, and like I said, depending on your price point, I would just say, I don't know. I still think, Wendy, one thing you might want to look at is you might want to look at Vineyard. It's in the Elk Grove Unified School District. If you look at it on a map, there is still stuff around there. It's maybe about $100,000 cheaper than 757. Melrose maybe about $200 less than 757. Taylor Morrison's building out there. You got Beezer's building out there as well too. It's an up and coming kind of area. Elk Grove Unified Schools. You might be able to get something at their Wild Hawk community at Taylor Morrison. So that could be something you check out as well too. All right. How's Sacramento looking wholesale wise? I think it's looking pretty good. I actually had a conversation with a couple wholesalers last week with Matt Barba, and he was getting pretty excited about it. If you feel like it, I can also put you in touch with him. He does a lot. He works with a lot of wholesalers. He's not only a broker, he's also in the real estate space, and he's also an investor. Here you go. Do you wholesale market? I don't specifically. But I'm very fascinated by that. And Matt's been trying to get us into it, get an LLC together and get together. So I could be into that sooner than later. If I do jump into it, I definitely want to possibly add a sector of that on this YouTube channel for investing, wholesaling, and everything too. I think that that'd be kind of fun. So I've even been trying to pitch David Green. So you might see some fun stuff. All right, no problem. Like I said, and if you don't have Matt's number, let me know. All right. Wendy, do you know if capital gains are prorated? For example, if I reside in a home I purchased in March 2024 for only 10 months out of 24 months, will I only pay 14 months capital gains in this scenario? I don't think so. I asked Aaron to kind of chime in on this as well. I think he's on vacation. I saw that question just as I was getting ready for the live show. Before I answer this 100%, let me just do a little research on it. I don't think so. But I'll verify that and I'll get back to you, and I'll probably answer it on your comment that you mentioned on the site prior to it. But give me 24 hours and I'll get you, Wendy. I just don't want to give you false information. All right, let's go to some more questions, and we are gone for the night. All right, so here's some questions for you guys. Mortgage rates just hit lows they've been since May 2023. Is this enough to buy? This is a question I put up on the community tab. For me, I still don't think I'm seeing a whole lot of movement. Maybe applications are being taken, but there's not a whole lot of movement. For you guys out there right now, you've seen the rates. You see that they're dropping. We're in the low sixes at this point. For you guys watching the broadcast, is this low enough for you to say, hey, I'm going to buy? Maybe they're going to go lower. I'm going to refi later, but I'm good. I'm jumping in. Let's go shopping. Just curious. For me, I'm still thinking a lot of people are on the fence right now. A lot of people are thinking that maybe fives are their numbers. I could be wrong. I want to know what you guys think. By the way, guys, hopefully you're enjoying this broadcast. If you are, smash that like button. I really appreciate it. Also, if you guys can do me a favor, I don't think I asked this enough, but if you guys could, if you know people who are maybe moving in the Sacramento area or maybe, would get a kick out of this channel, I would love for you guys to share this video, share this channel with people. And also, if you guys want to, we have an app. It's a Sacramento real estate app. It's actually something we actually paid for, and we got developed. It's identically like Zillow, but you don't have to pay a tour. You have to sign a touring agreement. It's down there in the description, or if you go to the App Store, Android Store, and type in Sacramento Real Estate, black icon, you'll see it. Download it, and it's completely free, and you can kind of search, and you can get all the Zillow functionality, but you won't get spammed. You won't get a million people calling you. It's a really cool app. And also, one last thing, the website. Here's our website. It's current with all the MLS listings. So if you guys are looking and you want a good website, please take a look at it. All right, let's get back to the show. Boom. All right. Are you back in the housing market with current rates? No, 75%. Like I said, I'm not seeing it. I wish more people were back in. I think it's a little slow right now. I talked to Nikki, I talked to Ashlyn, I talked to Michelle, and we were all on the same page. It's relatively for this time of the year, it's always going to be slow, right? It's always a little slower. School starts, sports. It's still a little hot out. It was going to be slow. But with interest rates going down, I think a lot of people anticipated right now that there'd be a lot more buyer demand and buyer activity. And the number hasn't hit yet. I think maybe in the fives it might, but as of right now, I think the election, recession, job numbers, all that kind of stuff are scaring people off. If I'm wrong, maybe I'm wrong, but I'd say fives could trigger the market. And like I said, think a lot of people are waiting. All right, next one. Boom. All right. Will rates hit 5% soon? We'll get there. I already have a 5.875 76 arm jumbo at no cost, 20% down, locked and off to the races. It's getting close. It's getting close, guys. I mean, it'll be interesting when we have a legitimate 5 behind an interest rate. We're talking a 30-year. It is on. I seriously think even if it's a 5.99%, I think if we start seeing fives, I think a lot of buyers are going to be seeing that and they're going to jump in. Now, I'm still leaning on to my idea that I don't think sellers are going to be trading out their 2.75s, but I do think that fives could be that number that trigger people to go out there and start looking. And if buyer demand hits and new inventory isn't spiking up, it could mean prices are going up. And I know I'm getting some boos for that. I get it, but I do think that that might happen. All right. Who likes living in the Sacramento area? Sacramento is the last affordable area in California. That's a nice place and worth living in. I bought a Toll Brothers home in Las Vegas last year. If I was ever to move back to Cali, which is 50-50, it would be in Sacktown. Again, guys, I think Sacramento is a fantastic spot to live. I think if you are someone who's maybe thinking about moving in, leaving the Bay Area, maybe even leaving the state, I would say just take a weekend, come up to Sacramento, go golfing, go boating. Just take a look at Sacramento, but don't go to Sacramento downtown. If you like a little bit more lively, go to Midtown Sacramento. If you like the water, go to Folsom Lake and Folsom. Go to maybe Old Folsom. I like that area. I'd say check out Granite Bay, check out Serrano. I would say take a look at some of these spots. I think they're really kind of fun. And I would just say for you guys out there, like explore, kind of figure out if maybe Sacramento is a spot for you. For me, I get a lot of people who move out here, or a lot of people who are thinking about moving out here. They come out here and all of a sudden they're like in love with the area because they didn't realize the Sacramento area had so much different options for lifestyles. We've got 32 miles of paved bike paths. There's a lot of biking here in Sacramento. We got mountain biking as well too. We got hiking. We got, like I said, boating. We got paddle boarding. You name it, we have it here. So it's pretty fun. All right, is Sacramento a great place to live? Sacramento reminds me of San Jose in the 80s and the 90s. Hopefully we get that appreciation. Hopefully we develop and grow. It would be kind of interesting too, because I have been hearing rumblings of some tech companies thinking about moving to the Sacramento area. If that happens, who's to say? I mean, I grew up in San Jose. It was basically like nothing, and then all of a sudden it popped. Is Sacramento on that path? I think all of us who are homeowners would be very, very happy to see our home prices go up like that. Maybe not for the traffic, maybe not for that stuff, but for home prices. Our next one is Toll Brothers worth the price? No. 83% said no. 47 votes. I don't know. For me, I like Taylor Morrison's pricing. Toll Brothers, it's a kind of a hard pill to swallow for a custom home or a semi-custom home. So I don't know. That's a tough one. All right. Guess where Toll Brothers is building next? Is Toll Brothers a good or bad builder? Isn't Taylor Morrison the best? Where should I move if I'm planning to retire in 4 years? My three options are Folsom, Elk Grove, or Roseville. Thanks. Okay. Toll Brothers, I'd say, is kind of a luxury builder in our space. They're known as this. They only build in the luxury kind of like price points. So they're good at what they do. Now, does that make them a good builder, a bad builder? It makes them a luxury builder. And what I mean by that is a lot of their houses have these luxury finishes and they only build in the luxury space. Never seen them build anything but luxury homes. Even their active community, it looks like Cabo San Lucas. So that's what they're known for building. Now, I'd say with any builder that you run into, they're going to, you got to kind of check their work. You got to, kind of get inspectors in. You have to go through drywall inspections and you got to kind of like feel it out. But I would say, as far as Taylor Morrison goes, Taylor Morrison has won, I think 10 years in a row, quality award. But this quality award wasn't by trade. What you notice is a lot of times, the voting for hey, best builder, best this, best that, are basically the trade voting, right? Taylor Morrison has won the quality award by people who've actually purchased Taylor Morrison homes and by the public. So Taylor Morrison has definitely have a track record for being a quality builder. That being said, some people don't like Taylor. For me, when I was looking to upgrade my home, and I did go resale in Gold River, but when I was looking, the only builder that I went to look at was Taylor Morrison because I liked the brand, I liked the quality, and I felt the home was really, really nice. So for me, that was it. All right, where should I move? What do you guys think? Folsom, Elk Grove, or Roseville to retire? I'd say all are great choices. I think Folsom's Regency by Toll Brothers is an amazing community. The pool area, they've got food trucks coming in. They got events. If you're looking for something where you're not looking for a lot of privacy and you want a lot of kind of fun stuff going on, I think that Toll Brothers Community Regency is probably the spot for you. I would say if you're looking for some area, you might want to also look at Sun City. In Lincoln, in Roseville. I mean, I think those areas are pretty good too. For me, I don't know. It depends on what you like. I think Folsom is a little bit more recreational. It has a kind of a Tahoe vibe to it. Elk Grove is nice, but it's a lot of flat. There's a lot of track homes out there as well too, but they have their golf course communities. But Folsom has a little bit more of the hilly vibe than Elk Grove. Now Roseville has a lot of the shopping. Roseville's got like what's called the fountains in the Galleria. And it has a kind of like, it's a good and bad thing, right? So it has the shopping. I'd say, even though Folsom has a Palladio, I know, but Roseville has a majority of the shopping that we have here in the Sacramento area. They got the West Elm, they got Restoration Hardware, they have all those stores. They got Nordstrom's, right? I think it's one of the only Nordstrom's in the Sacramento area, other than I think Arden. But for the most part, I guess what I'm telling you is like they have the shopping, but with the shopping also comes the traffic. Traffic isn't a big fan of people, or people aren't a big fan of traffic. So I would say Roseville's got the shopping. If you need to be close to like, let's say like hospitals, I'd say all these three spots have like Kaisers close by. I'd say Roseville probably has the most like Kaisers close by. You know, Roseville, not West Roseville, Roseville. But I like all these spots. I think for price points, Folsom, probably the most expensive. Then I'd say Elk Grove and Roseville neck and neck. I don't know if you can go wrong with any of the three, but they definitely offer you different lifestyles of what you want. I would say come out, take a look at them. I would also see, based on your price point, what you're looking at, which one actually fits the bill for what you're looking at. Let's say, for example, you're thinking 700 and you're looking for like a 4 and 2 or 3 and 2 single story. I'd say Folsom, you know, there's only going to be a select few. Elk Grove, there might be more. Roseville, there might be as well too. So I would say kind of look in that kind of way. But if it was me, myself, I would probably go like Folsom I like. Roseville's got a little bit more traffic than I like. Elk Grove's a little more flat than I like. So that's kind of where I would lay it out. I mean, but again, I mean, that's me, right? I would say that you have to probably come out here yourself and take a look at it and kind of do the Pepsi challenge. All right. Another question. Boom. Based on your experience, which area has the most potential for flips in Sacramento, particularly distressed? Flips. Okay. Folsom's not bad. I would say though, if you're looking for something that's historically been pretty good for people, depending on your price point as well too. For me, I've talked to Matt specifically about like East Sacramento and Land Park. I like those areas because they can't build any more there. Close to downtown, the A's are coming in downtown, but those houses tend to retain their value pretty nice. I mean, you got to at least have a 3 and 2 in that area, 3 and 2. I also like South Land Park. I think South Land Park has a name, Land Park, and it's a little bit more mid-century. And it has South Land Park, I think, is up and coming. I think there are certain parts of Oak Park that are near Tahoe Park that I like too. I've seen some areas also in North Natomas that people like for Airbnbs. So those are the kind of areas I would look at. But I would say talk to Matt. He's got a few that he likes as well too. He likes Roseville. I'm more an Elk Grove man myself, based on like the location to the Bay Area, based on the train station that's being built there, based on like Apple's there as well too, and the distance to downtown. And Matt's a little bit more towards Roseville. So we have our little bit of like ideas, but those are the ones I would choose. I think, you know, the areas for flips, Rosemont, I don't think it's going to give you, I think Rosemont's great. The Rosemont area near Sacramento State, I think it's great, but I think if I was looking to go into the Rosemont area, it wouldn't be necessarily for a flip. It'd be more like for an investment property. Like I said, I think the Oak Park area near Tahoe Park is really, really nice because UC Davis Medical Center is near there. I love East Sacramento. If you can get something like a 3 and 2, you know, like Dan Loesch has been seeing a lot of people who are buying like in South Land Park houses that have like big lots and putting in ADUs. And I think in that area too, there's some multiple units out there on like big lots that just need a little love. So I like that as well too. So there's a lot of spots that I would recommend. It's kind of like a candy store out here, to be honest. Hopefully that answered your question too. Sorry about that. I've been going, I think, for an hour and my coffee is done. So I do apologize. All right. 10 reasons you might not survive. Move to Folsom Powerhouse, and Folsom Hotel has amazing nightlife. It's interesting. You know, I've been watching that stuff on my Instagram. It doesn't even look like Sacramento. It kind of looks like a cruise ship. But yeah, if you guys are into dancing, having fun, DJs, I'd say that gives you a little bit more of like a Tahoe-ish kind of nightlife vibe. So yeah, there's stuff to do in Folsom. I think Folsom is, you know, I think Folsom was probably a little more sleepy as far as like 8 or 9 o'clock, kind of shuts down. But I do think with like all the new kind of like houses being built, the new commercial being built. I mean, that's going to change. I mean, Folsom is going to be one of those spots where there are going to be spots open till like 2:00. And so Folsom is definitely going to change. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like in 2030. All right. The best place to buy your first home in Sacramento. What is considered more expensive, El Dorado or Granite Bay? Okay, so El Dorado is interesting, right? There's some amazing houses in El Dorado with Folsom Lake views and everything too, but El Dorado is very spread out. There's houses you can get in El Dorado Hills for like $550. There's houses you can get in El Dorado Hills for $6 million. Depends on which community, right? Like Serrano North, probably the most price per square foot. That's where you're looking, right? Houses, 2 million, like 3 million, like some even higher than that, which is just nuts. So that area, I'd say like in Grant Bay, you're not going to find anything for like $550 there. You're not going to find anything for $650 there. You're not going to find anything for maybe even $750, $800 in Grant Bay. And if you do, it's going to be like maybe a tiny little house on like Joe Rogers Road or something like this. So I would say if you're looking for like average price point of a house in both areas, Grant Bay probably definitely wins. I would say communities like that are really, really up there in price per square foot, Los Lagos, Wexford, Shelbourne, Eden Rock. There's a bunch of others I know I missed, but I think Grant Bay probably is still pretty much the winner as far as that goes. But like I guess, it's completely subjective. I mean, if you buy somewhere in Serrano North, you could be spending upwards to like $3 million. And then maybe if you buy something in Shelbourne, you're paying 2.5. So it all kind of depends. But I think based on like average home price and like what you're seeing in those markets, I'd say Grant Bay still wins. What do you guys think? Am I wrong? All right, next one. Truth about new homes versus resale homes. Which should you buy? Yeah, Matt's pretty good. I saw his answer some of the questions on the shows. Matt's a rock star, and like I said, I would say, boom, King Chris Charles. Let me put you on a call with myself and Matt. Matt is a guru when it comes to this stuff. I mean, he lives for this stuff. He's made his bones in the Bay Area. He came out here. He can dissect properties like I've never seen before. So he's a rock star. And, you should definitely let me put you on a call with him. And he's like I am, right? The thing is with a lot of people will call me during the course of the day. We will talk real estate and they're waiting for me to sell them on the old idea. Hey, when are you coming out? Or, hey, work with me and everything too. Sometimes it gels. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we work together. Sometimes we don't. But I do feel, because I do this YouTube channel for you guys, that if you guys do have questions, if I mention something, it doesn't mean you have to work with me. It just means that I'm available to you to answer any questions about anything that I've mentioned on this program. So definitely feel free to reach out and don't feel like you're going to get the hardcore press on working with me. It's going to just basically be me answering any questions you might have heard on the site or in this program and letting you know what it's all about. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Okay, next one. Boom. Taylor Morrison, Folsom Ranch. Let Cy inspect the home for you. Cy, guys, if you really want to see a scary Instagram account, this home inspector, he's based out of Arizona or Las Vegas. Arizona or Nevada, sorry. But he does home inspections, and it's just crazy the stuff he uncovers. So if you ever get bored and you want to really scare yourself if you're in contract for a new home, type in Cy Inspector Instagram and you'll find his Instagram account, and he finds like every little thing wrong. I wish we could fly him out here for a few inspections ourselves. Now, here's the thing though too, understand this. A lot of times we have been working with new home companies like Toll Brothers, like Taylor, and a lot of times they'll do the best they can for inspections, but at the same time understand that they are also at the mind where they're saying, look, these are our standards. They might not be your standards. And if you want it, great. If you don't, we're good with that as well too. I've seen deposits be kept. I've seen cancellations happen. I've seen also deposits given back. So just understand that as well too. Oh, by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the broadcast, smash the like button for me. It'd really mean a lot to me. And if you know anyone who's thinking about moving in the Sacramento area, or someone who's thinking about selling their home or anything, share this channel with them. We go live, like I said, every Wednesday at 7 o'clock. I'm going to try to get a guest for next show. But that's my sales pitch for the show. All right. The best deal, new home in Sacramento. Great value. Hard to find anything under $800K in Folsom or El Dorado. This one will sell fast. Like I said, guys, 765, it is a nice view lot. It's not an enormous view lot. I mean, you can go out there and there's a view. It's, maybe like 20 feet. But the beautiful part about it is you don't have neighbors. You have a backyard that you can definitely get a pool in. what is it, like 2,300 square feet. And it's a floor plan that everybody likes, where you got like what's called 3 bedrooms up top, 1 down below, open concept, and you got a nice backyard, basically out the door at $765. So a lot of people have been like blowing me up and saying, oh, there's no views, there's no that. Okay, for that, I dare you. Go to Zillow right now, type in 765, 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath in Folsom, and see what you come up with. Basically, not a whole lot. So this thing is smoking deal right now, and I think Taylor Morrison's going to get rid of it really, really fast. All right. ADU explained. I'm almost done with my backyard ADU. 746 square feet, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, cost $200K. A lot of people are assuming that because of ADUs, ADUs are easy to do. They're cost friendly and everything too. I mean, you are going to be spending money on ADUs. So just understand that like $200,000 does not surprise me. Dan's always telling me too, whenever I talk to him about ADUs, he's like, everyone's always expecting them to be so inexpensive, and they are pricey. So just understand that $200,000 for an ADU under 1,000 square feet, that's pretty much standard. Lennar versus Taylor Morrison. This is interesting. This is like comparing a gourmet meal, Lennar, against a cow pie sandwich, Taylor Morrison. I'm guessing this person bought a Lennar home. I've never heard anyone defend Lennar like this, so this totally intrigued me. I haven't heard a lot about Lennar going after people who expose their crap work. It looks like a bunch of apprentices did the jobs instead of a reputable national builder team. FTM, which we all know what that stands for. Honestly, I don't know what happened here. It's either you went with Taylor and they gave you a horrible home, or you went with Lennar and you're just not happy that everyone loves Taylor. I don't know. I would say this. I don't think Lennar gives you bad homes. I think, now and again, maybe that, like I said, mass building, but I'd say like the thing with Lennar that has always annoyed me, and the thing I've always called out on this YouTube channel, isn't the fact that good building, bad building. I mean, you'll see it for yourselves. I mean, when you walk into Lennar versus Taylor, you can just feel it knocking on the walls, feeling the whatever. But it's never really been about that for me. It's always been about customer service. And I just think that the salespeople at Lennar just don't treat people the way other builders do. And not only just Taylor, but other builders as well too. I've had more complaints from people that have gone into Lennar and were not treated well. I've had people who've actually gone with Lennar and bought homes, and all of a sudden the sales rep, and there have been zero communication. And for me, if someone's buying a house, that's a huge investment. There's a trust there, and disappearing off the face of the earth, there's just no excuse for that. So that was always my big qualm with Lennar. All right. Hey, Mark and Aaron, I'm waiting until December to list my property. Wendy, we talked about that one. Like I said, watch the market, watch the rates, watch the inventory, see how fast things are moving in your area, but just stay in tune with the market. Like you mentioned before, election, interest rates, weather even. So just stay in tune and just gauge the market a little bit. All right. Sacramento housing market trends you cannot ignore. All right. This guy's full of wait and see, wait, don't buy now, wait for a crash. Look at China's real estate, big crash now, 90% cuts today. Here's the thing I tell people this all the time. This is the stuff that I was getting back in the day when rates were 2.75. There were a lot of people who were like, there's no way we're buying. Houses are going to drop in price and everything too. For me, I'm not going to say that this won't happen or this will happen. I will say this, timing your life and not the market basically means this comment should be thrown out the window. Like, one of the things that I see more than anything is that Zillow, that videos, that social media, that all this stuff literally gets voices in people's ears, and they start making decisions based off, misinformation. If you think about it, back in the day, people bought houses because schools, because they wanted their kids to have a backyard. They wanted a community and all that stuff too. I mean, we rely so much on Zillow, and if we lose money on our house, we're freaking out. For me, myself, like when I bought my house, I targeted Gold River because I thought Gold River was very undervalued. It wasn't a guarantee that it was going to go up, but I was like, this is awesome. I'm next to Folsom, close to everything. I can buy a house here $100,000 to $200,000 cheaper than in Folsom. I'm going to go for it. And I didn't do it primarily for that. I was glad I did it because, in retrospect, real estate's always like a pat in the back. Oh, I did good. It could have gone the other direction. But for me, the reason why I bought my house is because I wanted to give my daughter a bigger backyard, a nice, cul-de-sac where she could ride her bicycle. And that's why I bought my house. And I think a lot of people tend to lose sight of that. Everyone's always waiting for something, interest rates to drop, or, like the housing market to crash. Time your life, guys. Don't time the market. If you start timing the market so much, I can guarantee you I've seen more people lose and win. All right, next one. Boom. Guess what's coming to Rockland? Like the Palladio. That was a mall that I'd mentioned. I think it's going to be I think they're testing it out. But I do think that based on, 40,000 residents in Whitney Ranch, and then you got 12 bridges, 12 minutes away, and then you got everything else building in the area. I think they're going to create that mall. Like I said, the Nugget's going to anchor it, but I do think you're going to see more malls like that pop up, or they might even expand on that one like they did at the Palladio. So it should be interesting to see how that rolls out. But it is a shame, though, for all the people living in Whitney Ranch that they got to shoot down to Lincoln or they got to shoot over to Roseville to do their shopping. Which is, watch this before moving to Sacramento, California. Nobody's moving to California. Yeah, I would say then I'm probably the only busy realtor in the entire California then. People are moving to California. I think a lot of people who decided maybe to leave California are coming back to California. California is always going to be a state that attracts people. The California lifestyle. And I think Sacramento, when people see the pricing here comparatively towards the Bay Area and Los Angeles, California, Sacramento, it makes sense. So I don't think that there's nobody moving here. I think there's actually going to probably be more people moving here because I do think that Sacramento's building more homes, and those homes are not staying empty. They are building. Think about Folsom Ranch. Think how much building they have done in Folsom Ranch, and think how many of those homes are occupied. You're not seeing yes, there are houses right now because they overbuilt a little bit, but we're not seeing Taylor Morrison's got 50 homes that no one's living in. Lennar's got 10 homes up there no one's living in. Yes, maybe Taylor's got a couple houses. Maybe Lennar's got a couple houses. Maybe Tri Point's got one or two, but nothing to the sense of to panic anybody, right? Think about all these houses that they're building. Think about all the houses they've already built probably in Folsom. I'm guessing somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000. A lot of those houses are occupied, if not probably around 95%. That says a lot about people moving into our area. All right, is Woodside Homes a good builder? Yes and no. Honestly, from our clients, we're kind of getting mixed reviews as well. I would say, like I said, for any builder, make sure you get an inspector. Make sure you go check out the inspections. And if it doesn't feel right, honestly, do your best to just, if it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel right. Who wins this weekend? House hunting or vacation? Everyone's going on vacation, and in Sacramento, it was super hot. Although, I will say, I did do an open house in Gold River. We had 14 people come to the house, and I think we're close to selling it. So it was weird because for me, I was seeing everybody, all the realtors out there were like, I'm going to the beach, or I'm going to San Francisco. No one was here. It was super, super slow, but this open house just killed it. So I don't know. It was a crazy weekend. All right. The best deal for new homes in Sacramento. Nice house, but the view isn't all that. Look, I'm not saying the view is wow, El Dorado Hills, Toll Brothers Hidden Ridge, where you'd have to pay $1.4 million for it. But I'm saying for $765, having no back neighbors, having a little bit of a view, not bad. All right, $765 for a view lot. Which view? So bland and sterile. Guys, you're missing the whole point of this. It's $765. It's Folsom. 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, solar, soft close, nice backyard, no back neighbors for $765 out the door. Please show me on Zillow if there's another one of these because I can't find it. All right, best places to buy in Sacramento. Depends on a buyer's budget, need, multi-generational family versus DINK or retiring empty nester. Are you an investor, first-time home buyer, looking for maintenance, HOA? I totally get it. I know. When I put this out there, it's completely subjective. I'll give you that. It depends on the person, depends on the buyer. And that's why we always say that if you're looking to move in the area, reach out to us so we can do a Zoom call with you to kind of figure out exactly what you're needing to buy and if it makes sense. All right, that is the last one for today. All right, guys, hopefully enjoy the broadcast. Like I said, we go live every Wednesday at 7 p.m. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. These are the top reasons why people are still moving to Sacramento, California in 2024. Like I said, guys, Sacramento is still bringing them in. Maybe not as much as they used to from the Bay Area, because I think the tech market has kind of freaked people out. But for the most part, I think we're bringing a lot of people in. And I love our market. I think it's fantastic. Now, if you guys can, please, one more time, I'm going to pander. Smash that like button. Also, if you can, subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, guys, this is Mark. I'm out of here. Now, I'm going to put a video up here. Probably it's going to be there tomorrow, but it's going to be a video of a house tour that I did in West Roseville. And this house was, I mean, it was a beautiful house. It's in West Roseville. It's by Pulte. It's one of the best floor plans I've seen, and I would definitely suggest clicking on that video because when it appears tomorrow, because I do think that if you're looking at West Roseville and you want a big, big house with a nice big yard, this one could be the spot for you. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next video or on my next live Wednesday at 7 p.m.